Story number 6. The Pandit and the Milkmaid. Kamala was 13. She lived with her father in a village near the bank of the Ganga. They had some cows, and the cows gave plenty of milk. Every morning, Kamala got up very early. As soon as her father had milked the cows, she carried the milk to the neighboring houses to sell it. Then she went home and swept the hut and cooked a simple meal. Kamala worked very hard and she was always happy. She liked to sing as she worked, and the songs she liked best were songs about Hari. When Kamala sings, her father would say, "Hari seems to dwell in our hut." Near Kamala's home, a ferryman lived on the bank of the Ganga. Whenever anyone in the village wanted to go to the other side of the river, he would ask the ferryman to row him across. Every day the ferryman went to and fro across the river. Sometimes he would tell Kamala and her father about the people who lived on the other bank. "There is a Pandit who lives on the other side of the river," the ferryman said one day, "and he wants some milk every morning. I told him I would ask you about it." "I can supply milk," Kamala's father replied, "but how will Kamala take it to the Pandit? She will have to cross the river." "That will not be difficult," replied the ferryman. "I shall take her across the river every morning in my boat." Early the next morning, Kamala set out with the milk for the Pandit, and the ferryman rowed her across the river. The Pandit was very pleased. "Will you bring me milk at this time every morning?" he asked. "Oh, yes, sir, I will," Kamala replied. "See that you come in time, then," the Pandit said. "Don't be late. If my milk is late, my whole morning is spoilt." "Oh, no, sir," said Kamala, "I won't be late." "I shall pay you every Friday in the afternoon," said the Pandit. "Very well, sir," Kamala replied. Early every morning, Kamala crossed the river in the ferryman's boat and gave the milk to the Pandit. As she sat in the boat, she sang songs about Hari. Kamala always reached the Pandit's house at the proper time. She was never late. As days passed, however, the ferryman grew tired of getting up so early every morning. He began to be late. Kamala had to wait for him on the bank of the river. When the milk arrived late, the Pandit was angry. "This will not do," he told Kamala. "You must bring my milk at the proper time." Kamala asked the ferryman to get up earlier, but he was unable to do so. "Why are you late again?" Pandit shouted the next day. "I cannot help it, sir," Kamala explained. "I have to cross the river in the ferry. The ferryman is late." "Ferryman or no ferryman," roared the Pandit, "you must bring me my milk in time." Sadly, Kamala returned home. It was Friday, and in the afternoon Kamala had to go again by boat to the Pandit's house to receive the money due for the milk. That day, a large number of people had gathered at the Pandit's house. They were sitting on his veranda, and he was reading to them from a holy book. The book said that going through life, from birth to death, was like going across an ocean. "But do not be afraid," said the Pandit. "You can easily cross that ocean if you take the name of Hari as you go." It was at that moment that Kamala reached the Pandit's house. She heard what he said about crossing the ocean. "It's not an ocean I'm worried about," said Kamala to herself. "It's having to cross this river. That is my problem. I hope the ferryman won't be late again tomorrow morning." The next morning, Kamala stood waiting on the bank of the river. The ferryman was late again. Kamala felt very upset. She began to cry. "The milk will be late again," she wept as she stood there alone. "And the Pandit will be angry with me, and he will shout at me. But what can I do? Only Hari can help me." It was then that Kamala remembered the Pandit's words. "You can easily cross that ocean," the Pandit had said, "if you take the name of Hari as you go." "Of course!" cried Kamala. "Why did I not think of it before? How foolish I am! Anyone who can cross a huge ocean can cross a small river. I can cross this river if I take the name of Hari as I go." Kamala picked up her pail of milk and placed it on her head. Then, thinking only and only of Hari, she stepped onto the water. She did not sink. She was able to walk over the water as if it were land. "Hari, Hari, Hari," Kamala said over and over again. Repeating the name of Hari as she went along, Kamala crossed the river and reached the Pandit's house. "Ah, so you have come in time today," said the Pandit. "The ferryman got up early, eh?" "No, sir," Kamala replied. "The ferryman was late again, so today I didn't wait for him." The Pandit was puzzled. "You didn't wait for the ferryman? How did you come then?" he asked. "Why, I came your way, sir," Kamala replied. "It's a much better way. Why didn't you tell me about it before, sir, instead of scolding me every day?" "What are you talking about, girl?" cried the Pandit. "What is my way? What do you mean?" "But, sir," cried Kamala, "only yesterday afternoon I heard you tell the people how to cross the ocean. Take the name of Hari as you go, you said. If that's the way to cross an ocean, it's the way to cross a river, isn't it? You knew it all the time, sir, and you never told me." The Pandit gazed at Kamala with great surprise. "Do you mean to tell me," he said, "that you crossed the river like that?" "Yes," replied Kamala. "It's not difficult, is it? You must know how easy it is. And now I shall be able to bring you milk in time every day. I feel so happy about it." The Pandit still gazed at Kamala. He did not know whether to believe her or not. "Come with me, girl," he said, and he led Kamala to the bank of the river. "Go home, girl," he said. "Let me see you cross the river." "Won't you come too, sir?" Kamala asked. "I know my father would like to thank you." Well, said the Pandit. "You go first. I'll follow you." "Oh, no, sir," cried Kamala. "How is that possible? You must go first." The Pandit could not refuse. He stood at the water's edge and repeated the name of Hari. He then took one step forward onto the water. As he did so, however, he suddenly remembered that his dhoti was rather long and might get wet, so he quickly tried to pull it up. His feet did not remain on the surface of the water for a moment. He sank down and began to struggle in the water. "Hari, Hari, Hari," cried Kamala. Repeating the name of Hari again and again, Kamala stood on the water and gave the Pandit her hand. She helped him return to the bank. "I'm sorry you got wet, sir," she said. "You were thinking about your dhoti, weren't you?" "Kamala, my child," said the Pandit, "you're blessed indeed, for you have perfect faith. Go now. Go home to your father. You will cross the river, dear child, and you'll cross the ocean of life, for you have learned to take the name of Hari as you go." End of The Pandit and the Milkmaid.